All right, Note 9, let's hit it. Cheers. What's up, guys? Today we have the Galaxy Note 9 in hand, in person. This phone is awesome. We saw it in New York, but today we're really gonna dive into the camera specifically.
The camera is one of the most important features that people are looking at when they decide to upgrade their phone. So we wanna see, is this phone worth that $1,000 or even $1,300 price tag?
Dive into specs on this $1,300 cell phone camera. And we're excited to actually see what it looks like, but specs are important. So it has two lenses, which a lot of phones do now. Both are optically stabilized. So that means it has stabilization in the tele and in the normal lens. They have a dual aperture on the main lens, which was introduced on the S9 and S9 Plus phones. They brought that onto the Note 9. The camera itself is 12 megapixel on the rear, and on the front, for those selfies, you have 8 megapixels. The Note 9 also shoots 4K 60 frames per second, so for video, that's great. It did not in the previous version. The Note 9 still features super slow motion, which is fairly unusable in my opinion, based on the quality, but it is a cool feature if you really want to get something that slow. I think it's 960 frames per second, but you have like 0.2 seconds to capture it. Cool. The Note 9 also has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. What that means for a photographer or from a filmmaker's perspective is that you have all day battery life. So shooting a lot on your phone does take a lot out of the camera. So having that is actually, in my opinion, a photography feature inadvertently. Samsung also introduced Auto Enhance into the software, which detects, you basically hold your phone up to take a photo and it can detect landscape, portrait, people, food, kind of those gimmicky things that will most likely turn off anyway, but it's kind of cool that they have them. There's always more to talk about than those specs. We really do like to just get in and see how the image actually looks in a practical sense, so that's why we kind of hit the streets in Seattle and we're gonna shoot around here.
Today we are going to be testing sharpness, dynamic range. We're gonna be looking for some good colors. Those are super important. A fun thing about this video is we're actually gonna give you guys access to the photos that we're taking, so we're gonna drop them in a folder and let you guys download them. Kind of see for yourself like how good that image actually is. Sometimes it's hard to tell in a YouTube video just because of like compression and stuff. So yeah, that'll be
because normally we take the photo, we just put it on a timeline for you to see. If you actually want to download that photo and see it in its full glory,
now you can. So that's awesome.
Check out the Momentous article that's linked in this video if you want to go do that.
All right,
Let's go shoot.
Let's go shoot.
Wait. Ways away there's some wildfires, so we do have a nice like warm tone to this whole shoot.
Hazy and looks like the end of the world.
Yeah, but for photos it kind of looks nice and soft. So
on to the next spot. Still not as good as Jesse. look how cool that looks. Photo, it's not like the sickest photo in the world, but it just kind of goes to show like that rock was right in front of the lens, super sharp, and look at that bokeh. Like for a phone, that's pretty legit.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of likes on Facebook with that.
On Facebook? No one goes on Facebook. All right, we're gonna do a live critique of my photo.
Oh, that looks cool actually, no joke.
Right? So I think people have always given Samsung a little bit of grief because of like super poppy colors. And right now I'm not seeing that. I don't know if they've like actively changed that, but it seems they have.
They do a good job of just quick double tap to zoom in too. Not that that's a big deal, but. Okay, good photo, Niles. Your exposure was great. Dynamic range, honestly, it's a little tricky to tell because like he was saying, today's pretty muted and we have such a good cloud cover with the wildfires going on, but dynamic range looks insane. Yeah.
I think we're getting hyped on this phone.
I think we're getting hyped on Samsung cameras, dude. One thing I do really like about their live focus or portrait mode, as some might say, is that when you do take a shot in live focus and you get the blurry background, it gives you the option right away to have the wide angle normal photo of that too. So you have the option that you're like, oh shoot, I really wanted that as a regular photo without the depth effect, it gives you that immediately, which is a great feature that Apple doesn't do actually.
Whoa. Cool, recording in 4K 30 right now on the native wide lens and the native tele lens. I think the only thing I'm seeing is just a little too much sharpness. It looks like someone went in Lightroom or in Premiere and just kind of cranked the clarity up a little much, but other than that, it's looking good.
Again, you can go ahead and download the footage for yourself. We'll leave the 4K 30, or any clips we get from this vlog today, we'll put them in the folder, which you can link from the Momentist article. All right, we're venturing a little bit farther than we ever have on the one wheels, so we hope the battery is good. Out towards West Seattle area. All right, so right behind me, there's like this light. So right behind me, there's this light right there coming through. Heads up, Niles. There's a great opportunity for dynamic range, and basically what that's doing is, because it's really bright and it's really shadowy all in the same scene, it's gonna see how it handles the shadows and the highlights.
Your wings in the sky tonight. I'm sitting on a rock and watching heron fly. Feet in the water, out the way. It has been such a beautiful day. A beautiful
So we're gonna quickly test the super slow motion. I know we said it's gimmicky and we probably won't ever actually use it, but why not? Let's actually test it. In the super slow-mo option, there's a 0.2 second and a 0.4 second, and it says in the menu, 0.2 gives you a little bit higher quality, so we'll see. Go. Oh, that's kind of tight. That's kind of tight! Yeah.
Go.
Nice, whatever.
Funny thing is that we just had fun with slow-mo, but we'll probably never use it again.
So, no joke, that is fun. Give it to your kids, give it to... That's actually kind of fun. Okay.
I would like post that on my Insta story.
I would have
like
fun with that
it.
5 or 6 times and then never use it again.
Yeah. All right, so we just got to a friend of ours named Sam. You can check him out. We'll link his Instagram below. He's gonna shoot with the Note 9, we're gonna shoot with the Note 9, and we're gonna go up on his roof, and he's got a great view of the sound, of downtown. It's gonna be awesome. And he's just a nice guy. We like to hang out with our friends. What is up, dude? Good to see you.
What's up, high five for the cam. Oh, yeah. Whoa. This is honestly the coolest rooftop I've ever been on in Seattle. Haven't been on too many, but thanks again, Sam and Alex, for letting us come up here with you guys.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Welcome to my view.
So nice. And yours.
Hi.
Thank you again, very appreciative.
This is a good like detail test. There's so much in the image, and it's like a good landscape. So it'd be good to kind of punch in. So if you download the photos, punch in, see how the Note 9's stacking up. Again, it's really smoky and hazy though. So if it's looking a little washed out, it's because there's a lot of fires.
Okay, so since this is the Note series phone, Note 9, the Notes all come with the stylus. This is called the S Pen. What's different about this one is that it has Bluetooth connectivity. So basically with the camera and photography stuff, you can actually use this to your advantage. It has a small button on the side of the pen right here. If you single click it, it takes a photo. If you double click it, it switches to selfie mode. So we're gonna show you an example of how you might actually use this in a practical setting. If you want a group shot, you set the camera up on a tripod, and then you just hold this using the S Pen. So a practical example of how you would use this. You just set the camera on the tripod or whatever. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at this. That's a great shot of us, and you can, you know, use a stylus, double tap, make sure no one's I love this thing. All right, so we're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. You get this nice big open scene, and usually in 1080p, shooting 60 gets kind of mushy, so we're gonna see if 4K really holds up with all the detail. Looks like you have a 5-minute record limit too. Typically, when shooting 60 frames per second, we're gonna use that and actually slow it down to 24 or to 30, so it's gonna be like it's a slow motion format.
All right. I'm gonna put it in A for awesome mode. Details are really clean. Good highlights. Good depth of field.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right, guys, so that about wraps up our photographer's review of the Note 9. Overall, pretty impressed with this phone. Great battery life, takes good images. I enjoyed the colors. I thought there's some good dynamic range, but we would love to hear what you guys think. So let us know in the comments, download those images, put them to the test. I think the next video, I think we're gonna have to do a shootout. I think we need to compare it.
Yeah. Let us know if you're planning to get the Note 9. Are you interested in this phone? Are you a Note user, or are you gonna switch? It definitely has piqued my interest. I think both our interests more than any other of the Galaxy phones. So thanks for watching.
See you in the next one.
As always,
thank you, Sam.
we love our subscribers.
Thanks for coming by, guys.
Yeah, dude, thank you so
Woo!
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.